Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time out to listen. My name is Nicole, and today I am talking about victims of bad information and outright lies. Okay? It's hard to prove to a person who is sold out on bad information and outright lies the truth. I want to tell you what happened, but I can't get through to you because you want to hold on to the bad information and the outright lies. So, after repeated fights, arguments, after thinking everything's okay and all right, only for somebody to slap you in the face again with some bad information and lies, you end up distancing yourself. Whether you go low contact or no contact, you've had enough. Bad information and outright lies is everywhere nowadays, everywhere. You cannot join an organization or group without some information out there that's bad, okay, that is filled with lies. You can't connect with some family members or friends because they're holding on to bad information and lies. You can't get ahead in some workplaces because of what someone said that was filled with lies and bad information. Okay? People won't change their opinion even after the evidence and proof is there. Some won't. I'm not going to say all, but some won't, because this is what this person told me, and they're the ones who has the who may have a degree, who may have a license, who may have worked there for 20 years or more. And Satan's followers, they know this. They know that once they get information out there that's bad, that's filled with lies, that a lot of the gullible, the naive, the stupid, the ignorant, the lazy, they're going to believe it. They're going to believe it. There are those who are very intelligent, master manipulators, Satanists, people who have their share of anger issues, who sit back in rooms and they do have their chuckle because, once again, the public has been deceived. If you don't do your research, if you don't go into the community where the situation happened, if you don't sit down and talk with different people about whatever it is that is being fed to you, you're going to believe whatever. That's why I don't believe everything that shows up on the front pages of Yahoo or Bing or Google. And I am not one to take information from people who I know are big TV watchers, and people who are known for taking gossip and running with it. No, let me investigate. And people like this, they can't stand folks like me. Why you need to look that up? Because why? I told you. You're not the authority. I'm not the authority. What you mean by that? Just what I said. Were you there? No. Did you see things with your own two eyes? No. So you're just going to take whatever they tell you as fact. Well, I mean, why would they lie? Oh, can we list a ton of reasons why people lie, especially when it comes to mainstream media? People got protected investments, more specifically, rich, wealthy American citizens have investments all over the world. And they don't want their names attached to their investments, especially when they've got shady dealings and shady connections. So whatever media that we're going to receive, it's going to be the kind of media that is going to be free of the truth. It's going to be the kind of media that is full of fluff And for some stories, yeah, there's a sprinkle of truth, but there's going to be the exaggerations and lies because they can't know that we own this. They can't know that we made these connections with this particular group. And our Chapman, if you will, some people, whoa, they know what I'm talking about, who leads our lands, he is used to work out deals that are not in the best interests of the commoners, but in the best interests of the elite. They needed a businessman to go all over the world to do some things to help them in their business endeavors. What better person than a salesman for a president? Oh, yes. Yes. Every president has a role that we don't know about, unless, of course, the one true God and some very discerning, very intelligent types of individuals tell us otherwise. Yeah, everyone has a role that we don't know about, but there's the role that they play that we do know about. President, yes, president, but what's the role? What's the role behind the role? You know, Obama, he was one for bridging the gap, if you will, helping some individuals out, being the first Black person, Black president, Black whatever they wanted, to go and be like Martin Luther King. So, like a civil rights activist, yes. But whose civil rights? The previous president had messed up relations with the Middle Easterners, right? So Obama came at the right time to bring about some peace. Because, once again, we got some heavy hitters that are in foreign lands who own all sorts of things. And we need a face that's going to smooth some things over. Otherwise, we're going to lose our businesses. And we don't want that, or we're going to lose our connections, or they're going to raise up a holy hell, if you will. And it took a long time for us to build these connections. So we need a face that is in our best interest. Once again, there's the role that people play that we all know about, and then there's the role behind the scenes. Celebrities always have double roles, triple roles, quadruple roles. She's not just a singer. She may be the high-paid prostitute, escort, witch, okay, druid, whatever. There's more than meets the eye. Interesting. One-eye coverings and so forth. So you're fed the bad information. You're fed the outright lies. Individuals are discredited all across the internet because we don't want the truth out about what we're into. That is the bottom line. You see, the wealthy screams this. Your mama and them scream it. Don't you be going out there telling my business. Well, what do you prefer I do? I prefer you not to tell my business. But what if I already said some things? Well, you better go back and tell them people something different. Ooh, no, I don't think so. The child of God is not going to go back and change the scripts. The child of God is not going to be the obedient one to the masters, but be the obedient one to the one true God. The child of God is not going to compromise his or her faith. We're talking about sincere children of God. We're not talking about those pretenders, those hypocrites. We're not talking about people who, oh, let me get some benefits from the Lord here, and then let me run over here and get some benefits from Satan. And we're not talking about those people who play two sides of the fence. We're talking about bona fide believers who stand up for truth, who seek truth, who expose lies, who are not the buddies of the establishment. Some of them the Lord has sent in, and they are in stealth mode. Just like we got Satanists who act as if they're believers, and they too are in stealth mode. But that light, if it's strong enough, if it's powerful enough, if you got that anointing like Jesus, and you're casting out demons, and you're praying that your enemies be exposed and that they be taken down, then the enemy is no longer operating in stealth mode, feeding people bad information and outright lies. After a while, the people are going to rise up and say, you know what, this makes no sense, what is being told to us. We need the truth. We got the disinformation agents that are in mainstream media, putting out all sorts of bad information because, once again, they want to take our attention off of what matters. What matters is your money. What matters is your health. What matters is the community that you live in. What matters is the children that you are parenting or grandparenting. I don't know why I have to remind some people of this, but this is what I'm hearing in the spirit. I could take a guess that the reason why I got to remind some people is because they are so inundated with garbage for stories. Okay. They are so inundated with things that really don't matter to you. You're looking at a recipe and you don't even eat that food. But, oh well, the picture was appealing. Okay. Meanwhile, you're distracted from, why was I on the internet? You are looking at these celebrities who, I don't even know who she is, but I keep hearing her name. Oh, okay. That's what she does. Okay. And then you're still reading, but it doesn't apply to you. Are you into rap? See how they make some of these stories so-called important to you. Well, I mean, it does help to be a bit diverse in knowing things. Yeah, but how long are we going to spend looking at things that really, unless you're in the hood somewhere, you really don't need to know everything about that rap artist. You know, and even if you are around a bunch of people who are of that rap artist ethnicity, they're going to look at you crooked-eyed because you already said, I'm not into rap music. I'm not into R&B. I prefer classical or country or what have you. So that conversation is going to last for how long, right? So we got those individuals who they find themselves caught up in all sorts of stories that have nothing to do with what is really going on behind the scenes with those things that I mentioned earlier. What is really going on in terms of that job that you have with that particular employer. Do they plan on laying some people off? Is there some writing on the wall somewhere? You might want to plug in that company's name and do some extensive research so that way you can make necessary arrangements to start saving possibly more money rather than what you're saving today. Because companies are coming and going, and some of the oldest companies that I remember seeing when I was a kid walking, you know, like we're talking about a really young kid, these businesses are slowly but surely going belly up. And it's starting to become more and more unpopular when it comes to people being in companies for long periods of time. I mean, 20, 30, 40 some years. Some of these people have been with companies, but that's not a common thing. You know, when somebody says that, you're shocked because how many jobs have some of us went through in less than 10 years? So, you see, we're being fed all sorts of information, and of course, a lot of it is exaggerated, or it's irrelevant, or it's filled with lies, cover-ups. We've got people who carry all sorts of secrets. Some of you all know this just from a family perspective. You look and you say, wait a minute, something isn't matching up with what's coming out of this person's mouth. What are they hiding? And so you become the victim because someone is either emotionally abusing you or physically using you because they don't want you to know the truth. And of course, they want to get whatever they want from you until you find out the truth. Because some people just know one day you're going to know, you're going to be on to them. And so what they do is they come up with all of these tactics to try to keep you from discovering what's on the phone. That phone nowadays, that is the box of secrets for many, many people. And there's going to be more and more people that's going to be cracking these phones, and more people that's going to be suing folks about what's on their phones. There's going to be more and more people that's going to be using phones in a court of law to prove what they suspected all along. You see, I mean, the phones just have so many things nowadays on them that it is quite disturbing when you do finally come across somebody's phone and it's like, whoa, you got another side to you, don't you? You see? And what are they going to do when you start approaching them with what you found out, especially younger people? Oh, no. What had happened was, well, you can't blame other people for putting stuff on your phone because you got a password protected. So come up with another lie. You see, so you end up hurting at times from what you find out. You end up learning that somebody may have been studying how to manipulate you, how to control you, how to push your buttons, how to get you to do whatever they want when they want. I mean, these discoveries that people find, ooh, Jesus, I'm just seeing quite a few people in my network in the spiritual realm. A lot of women, Lord Jesus. I'm even hearing crying in the spirit. When you come across these things, it does something to you. You feel shocked. You feel betrayed. You piece together, different instances that took place, and you're like, that's why he was acting like that, or that's why she was behaving this way. Oh my goodness. I mean, Lord, this is too much. But see, when you walk with the Lord long enough and you're praying and you're asking the Lord to reveal things, you've got to be prepared. I suggest that for some of you all, if you're not ready, if you think that you're going to fall apart or lose your mind or do something bad to the person, it's best not to pray those kind of prayers, because God, He's going to honor those prayers. He is, in time, in due season. And for some people, it's just too disturbing. It's too disturbing to know the truth. And that's why some of them rather believe the bad information. That's why some of them prefer to listen to the lies. I know some people are like, what? I mean, don't you want to know the truth? A lot of people don't, because they've been so conditioned to not receive the truth, because the truth is bad. The truth is ugly. The truth is going to set you back. The truth is going to make your, stomach hurt and your head hurt. No, you don't want to know the truth. So sit back and just enjoy the fantasy that we're putting before you. Sit back and just enjoy the lies and the bad information that we're giving you. But it's to put you, though, in a good mood, right? And when meanwhile, once again, shady individuals are casting shade on some people. And they don't want you, once again, to know what the left hand is up to. You can look over here at the right hand, but a sleight of hand, whoop, nope, you didn't see it disappear. You didn't see what I just did. You see? Oh, some of these people are like magicians. In biblical times, they were sorcerers, right? They were up to all sorts of things, and people were just believing, hook, line, and sinker. Oh, I'm like Jesus. Look, I can walk on water too. Oh, look, see, I can turn 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish into large supplies of food that can feed thousands, you see. And so if you are that one that's just very easy to convince, to persuade, to manipulate, may even be a bit gullible, a bit naive, you'll be more likely to believe the bad information and the lies. The victim is tormented with the information, with the lies. The victim sees some things that are quite disturbing, and those things are used to keep the victim's mouth shut. The victim is emotionally and or physically abused with the information and with the lies. So he or she may not be slapped. Oh no. No kicking, no punching, no name calling even. It's just that information that that person has, that enemy has on him or her, is driving them crazy. The victim knows that he or she's being lied to, but there's no way to find out the truth because the truth has been suppressed. Everybody around that person is agreeing to lie to that person. This sort of manipulation, power, and control happens a lot with celebrities because celebrities are told early on that if you want to make this money, you got to work, you got to do this, you got to do that. And then, of course, if you want to appease certain people, you're going to have to go along with the program, right? You're going to have to put on that front, even if you are sad inside, even if you do miss your family. Okay, so if there's all these people around the celebrity that are feeding him or her the type of information that keeps him or her emotionally, physically, spiritually, and even sexually bound, the truth has no way of coming forth because I trust these people who work for me. I trust this one who cuts my paycheck, you see. Very easy to manipulate. But the family's coming through wanting to share some truth. The family is saying, look, we investigated so-and-so, that one that you're working with, and here's what he's up to. Be forewarned. Oh, I'm good, I'm fine, until something bad happens. And of course, that celebrity who is embarrassed, who's ashamed, is not going to say, Mom, Dad, that piece of information that you gave me, that's correct, that's right. This person was up to no good. This person did harm me. This person did abuse me or rape me. These people that you told me about that's a part of this, witch coven or what have you. Yeah, it's true. They don't look like witches. They don't look like warlocks, but it's true, you see. But when people are trying very hard to keep the cat in the bag, so to speak, maybe even a black cat, they're going to make sure that they don't that the celebrity or whoever in the circle does not catch hold of what they're up to. Okay? Oh, no, you're mistaken. No, we're not a part of that. Who told you that? Then you tell who told you, which is stupid. But when you do, now, mysteriously, that person is ill. Mysteriously, that person is dying of something. You okay? Wait a minute. What? What happened? So, we don't give up our sources. How we come about information, who gave it to us, the person who wants to keep the secrets and the lies and, the cover-ups going, quite naturally, they're going to go to the person who is feeding the good information, who's feeding the truth, and want them gone. So some people, it's just best to keep some things under your hat, right? Stay quiet. And when the time comes, allow the Lord to move on your spirit to speak. But you don't want to be throwing people under the bus that are being used by the one true God to speak a word to you. Even with some of these audios and videos, you might want to be cautious about sharing them with those individuals who you know are your enemies. Because sometimes people have this mean-spiritedness about them because, simply put, this is my victim, and I don't want you, Nichole, or nobody else to be telling this person anything. They're not going to call you a victim, but we know that people who are in any type of bondage are victims. And so that person is going to work on you, or maybe someone else who shared that information, and tell you how you don't need to be listening to these people on the internet and what's wrong with you. And you don't offend me sending me no foolishness like this. Oh, what you trying to say? I'm abusing you? What you trying to say? That I'm telling you some lies? I'm giving you some bad information? Why are you acting like that? Why are you doing that to me? I should come over there and beat you and beat her too. You see? You got some people that's just a little bit on that other side there when it comes to the demonic. And they are sold out on wanting to do away with some people who expose anything that sounds like their personality. Anything that is related to their businesses and their vested interests. Anything that sounds like it's getting to be too close to home. And the demons in and around them start to upset them. And that's when they want to go on attack. Okay? So we just trust that the one true God is going to continue to be with each and every one of us who are called, chosen, anointed, appointed to speak words of wisdom, knowledge, biblical studies, you name it. And I just pray in Jesus' mighty name that God's angels will work on all of our behalf, and that when the time comes, we'll be ready. We'll be ready to be with the one true God. No more drama, right? No more passing on information that's bad. Things that we know. We didn't do the research, right? So is it really credible? And also, no passing powerful truths to the enemy, because all the enemy's going to do is turn around and attack you. Rather, you take that information, you pray about it, and you ask the Lord what to do with it. Blessings to you. Please do check the description box for anything that might be of interest. You've been listening to YouTube Enterprise 7. May God richly bless you as well as those that you love.